What's up, guys? It's the Podcast Boys back with episode 134. Yeah, it's the day before New Year's. So as you're seeing this, you're seeing it in the new year, but we're still in 2022. It's gonna be a great episode. So let's just go straight into story time. Let's get Colin to start us off here with his story time.
This week we had Christmas. No, we did not. Christmas Day is when we had the upload. I guess it was Boxing Day, and then we had so it was Christmas last week, and then this week we had I don't know, nothing. I've just been going to the gym, and then working on my leg, recovery. But that's been all, really. I've had physio. Pretty much it. What's that? Yeah, actually, good reminder. Cheyenne mentioned we've been watching Star Wars. We talked about that last week. We're on a New Hope now. Cheyenne, what's your favorite movie so far? Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like porn. So I agree. No, I'm kidding. I don't agree. I think A New Hope is probably the best one so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's us. Cheyenne hasn't seen it. Are you liking it so far?
Yeah, it's great.
Nice, fuck you. So I'm looking forward to the next ones. So Cheyenne came into my house. Good reminder, Cheyenne. He came into my house today, and he's looking at my room. Oh, look at this lightsaber! And then he whips it out, and he's trying to put it back in. It's one of the telescopic ones. So he's pushing on it, trying to get it in, and then it slips, and it slices his finger, and then his wrist, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" And he's "Bro," and he's bleeding, and I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing? That's a Jar Jar Binks move right there, bro." And then I have I played up the audio. This made me think of it. I'm not gonna put it on screen because it's just an audio, but that that whole what is it called? The guy that does the fighting, he's a fat guy, does this one. He falls from the trash can. As soon as Cheyenne as soon as he's oh fuck,
Yeah.
I thought of this. I'll show you in a sec.
Ah, fuck! Dude, fucking stop doing full force!
That's the first thing I thought of, bro. It was the same. It was it wasn't that loud,
The same
but
tone, bro. Yeah.
It was the same tone, but it wasn't that loud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that's our week. Cheyenne's favorite character is... Don't say that person. It's Jar Jar Binks. All right, we'll go on to Justin.
All right, so for my week, I went to California for 5 days. So I left on Boxing Day, so got up at 6, hopped in the Uber, got to YVR, and the nice thing is we didn't have baggage check-in. We only brought in carry-on. So
Nice.
basically, yeah, short, simple. You don't have to wait in check-in lines, and it's just way easier. So we checked in, boarded the flight, and then I think it's 2.5 hours or 2 hours 50 minutes.
Pretty
So
good.
not too long. And then we landed, and then there's a lot of issues with a rental car. So we were gonna book a rental car so we could drive around to the different beaches, and just explore around a bit. Cause last time we went in spring break, the weather was good enough where we could just kind of chill at the house and surf and kind of explore Huntington more. But this time we wanted to explore more of California and just kind of LA and all the different beaches. So we decided to get a rental car, and basically my dad had booked the night before, couple nights before. And so we landed, and we were gonna go pick up the car. But what happened is because of a bunch of the snowstorm and a bunch of airlines having big issues. So Chicago, I think, grounded all their flights, and there was no flights coming in or out of Chicago, and basically that screwed up all the other airlines.
Damn.
Because that's one of the major airlines. And basically what happened is they had no rental cars available because everyone that had booked one had just kept it. They extended their rental. So yeah, basically all the rental cars were gone, and people were freaking out. The one guy in front of us was from, I think, Arizona, and he just came out from Nevada, and he was trying to get a flight back to Arizona. And then basically what happened is he couldn't get the flight. The flight got canceled, and so his next option was to take a car. Because if you didn't know, some of the rental cars, they'll do this thing where if you drive from one airport to another airport, you can drop it off at that airport. And also it's a reduced rate on the rental. So this is what this guy planned on doing. but he couldn't get a rental
Yeah.
car for 4 hours. So that was the wait, 4 hours. Luckily for us, we have a place to stay. So we just ended up taking an Uber, chilling there, getting our stuff unpacked. I think we went out for lunch and then came back, got the rental car, and we were good to go. So
Nice. Yeah, I
yeah,
had when I was in Nevada, I got a rental car and then we drove to Arizona and left
yeah.
it there.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like feel like that's a pretty common thing for airports, especially just for like rental cars and like rental
Mhm.
services, because like sometimes they need more cars at one place or like
Yeah.
something like that. So yeah, the funny thing was our plate on our car was Arizona plate. So I guess someone had driven from Arizona to
They're cool, the
California.
cactus one. It's right there,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, so the car we got was a Kia Soul, which is pretty
Oh
funny.
god.
So the one that we rented was like I think it was like a Spark, like a Ford Spark, or not Spark. It was like I don't know, one of these like shitty like really small cars. And basically we got upgraded to a Kia Soul and we're like, is that much of an upgrade? Like, are you serious? But
It's a box on wheels, bro.
yeah, but honestly, like the first thoughts of like the Kia Soul, I was looking at my dad, I'm like, Kia Soul, like, are you
Really?
serious? Like, we got a Kia Soul.
Better than no
Um,
car though.
but
This is a wait.
But to be honest, like after driving in it for a while, it wasn't too bad. So the first thing is there's like quite a lot of space in the back, right? Like it's
I've been
bigger
in
than you
one.
think, right? Like not too bad on space.
Pretty comfortable in there.
Pretty comfortable, as well as it's actually like really good on fuel. Like we drove,
It wasn't electric.
it wasn't electric. We drove from like basically all around like on the coast. So basically in our trip we went from Huntington Beach, which is kind of like right below LA. So for the trip, we kind of went down. So the first day we went down from Huntington Beach to Newport and Laguna, and basically Huntington Beach is kind of like below LA, if that makes sense. And
Mm-hmm.
Huntington Beach is more like laid back, chill. It's not as like high end as some of the other places. So as you drive into Newport, there's like the houses start getting bigger and it gets more expensive. And then past Newport is Laguna, and Laguna is where like it's really fucked. Like Laguna, there's like big houses, art galleries, and stuff like
I want to
that.
go to California, bro. Really, really
And
badly.
yeah, like a bunch of that sort of stuff. So we stayed in Laguna for a bit, just like walking around, because Sophie wanted to like see some of the art galleries. So we went through a bunch of art galleries, checked out Laguna, and then on the way back, we drove to Shake Shack, Sugar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you have a burger?
Yeah, so I got a
Oh.
burger, and the burger was super fucked. Like, it was really, like, big. So you get,
Was it
like,
worth the hype?
big burger, you got big fries, and we got shakes because we're like, okay, I guess, like,
Mhm.
it's the experience, you know? You gotta get it. We got the big shake, and, like, we were so full. Like, it was actually nuts.
Like
Like,
you
the
can walk.
everything, yeah, like, it was like, oh, like, I have to go to the car. Like, it was brutal. And, yeah, so that was pretty fucked. But, honestly, out of like a rating, I think I'd give Shake Shack like I'd give it like a solid like 7, because first off, like the Shake Shack was actually like it was a really nice location. It was right over the water, and the seating like of the Shake Shack outside was like looking over the water like onto the beach. So that was really nice. But the food, to be honest, wasn't too great, but it was still pretty good. And so
Wasn't worth the hype, is what you're saying.
yeah, in my opinion, personally, it's not worth the hype. But yeah, I think
But
it's
it's
still
not like Prime where it's overhyped.
yeah, it's not like it's worth checking out still if you want to go, but I don't think it's like you don't like make it a priority if that's the thing. Like that's
Mhm.
I guess that's my take on it. But yeah, so that was like the first day, and then the next day we went around so we went around to the other beaches. So basically we went to Hermosa, Manhattan, Venice, and then Malibu. So that was, and then like to Hollywood. So that was like a big day. So we started in Hermosa, and Hermosa is really nice. It's like a nice pier, super long, and it just goes like forever. And the cool thing about Hermosa is like there was beach like volleyball courts everywhere. I think we saw people like walking in
Basketball?
volleyball.
Basketball?
Not in Hermosa. More
Mm.
so like Venice had like
Yeah.
lots of basketball courts, but Hermosa was like lots of like beach volleyball courts, and like there's people like I guess they had a tournament or something, so there was like rows upon rows of like beach volleyball
That's
courts,
cool.
which is pretty cool, and they were like nicely like set up. I think they were like I guess like a nice tournament, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, Hermosa was pretty sick. There's like you could look off the pier and like watch guys surfing. So yeah,
I
we
saw
went,
Venice Beach, like they got outdoor basketball courts and that
Yeah.
looks so fun, bro. Professors are going there and
Yeah.
all sorts of guys.
all like the YouTuber guys.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, we went to Manhattan, and pretty much Manhattan's like the same as Hermosa, just like different houses and like a different like city, I guess. But like one of the thing about like all the sort of coastal cities in California is they're all pretty much like the same template. You could say it's like town above this like the coast, I guess. So like you have a little town, shops, and then like a residential area, and then below it you have like one really long pier, and then on the pier there's just like beach, seawall, and then just kind of houses right along the beach. And so they kind of all follow that exact same format. So yeah, we went to Hermosa, then we went to Manhattan, and then we went up to Venice. And Venice is really interesting because Venice is kind of different from both of the areas. Like in Manhattan and even Hermosa, they're more like I guess safe you could say, and they're like nicer, more like developed areas. But then when you get to Venice, it's kind of like you enter like a 2K lobby. Like it's just
Yeah,
nuts.
I see what you're saying.
So you walk in and we park the car. We go down, check out the pier, which is pretty cool. And then we're trying to find like the skate park, Muscle Beach, and like I don't know, just kind of like the main areas of
Would you
Venice.
go skating?
I didn't. I didn't have my board, but
Mm.
it was pretty cool to like go and watch. Anyways,
Mhm.
so we go down and we're walking along trying to like find out where everything is, and it's really weird. There's vendors all along the side of the strip, sort of like the seawall strip,
Mhm.
and guys trying to sell you CDs and just like a lot of like cheap vendors, almost like I could compare it to like Playland. Like guys trying to like sell you as you're walking, like, hey man, grab the CD, and they're like as you're walking, and you just kind of have to like keep walking, just like not like interact, almost
Yeah.
like because you know they're gonna like if you get the CD, then they're gonna try to like give you money
Yeah,
for it, even if they say
yeah.
it's free, right?
I
Like,
watched like Wreck-It Ralph last week. I forgot to say this, and then like they have in the second movie. I watched the second one as well. They had like when they went to the internet, they had people like showing pop-ups. They had ads, and they were like putting their face. Okay, so yeah, it was like, yo, do you want to make money off of video games? Or oh, do you want to learn how to do this and that? And then just like putting in their face, and then they show like the computer screen, and they just got pop up. Or if they had virus protection, these big dudes in suits came and just like bodied the crap out of the guy,
yeah,
and they're like, step aside, whatever. It's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
you give it attention, it will pursue that like crazy.
yeah, it's very like in your face sort of like
Mhm.
advertising, and even around like Hollywood, like on like the Walk
The
of Fame,
Boulevard.
whatever. There's guys that like. There's like guys in like costumes that will like go up
Yeah.
and be like, yeah, we'll get a picture.
Mickey
And then
Mouse.
after you get a picture, they're like, yeah, so can you pay me now? And you're like, what the hell? So there's a lot of like weird, not like scam, but just kind of like
Desperate for money.
yeah, and you don't really want to like
Yeah, the
engage
guys,
with
the
that.
guys like Loaf got jumped. I don't know if you watched this video. Loaf got jumped because they were filming him, and they thought they just went to a conclusion. It was like, hey, don't do that, and they started like they jumped him, and then like they were friends after. Like they came back. They flew from Minnesota to LA just to see the guy, and like they gave him like they bought him a new shirt because they like ripped his shirt. They gave this on Hollywood Boulevard. They gave him like a sample of their music. And then like a free CD because they were selling CDs there. And then they were like, yeah, they just became friends and it was cool. And then they're like, yeah, everyone here is like family. This guy, the Asian like food truck, he's been here. Like we all look out for each other. Like, and then there's like Mickey Mouse, and like Mickey Mouse was like a dick, but like that's a different story. So yeah.
Yeah, so then further along Venice, like past the vendors, then you start getting like Muscle Beach, the big gyms, like Arnold
Gold's
Schwarzenegger
Gym.
works out. Yeah, and yeah, so we walked by there. But it's funny, there's like no one really at the gym. I guess it was like closed or something, so we just kept walking. And then we got to Venice Skate Park. It was pretty cool. I had like higher expectations for it. Honestly, I thought there'd be like more people skating there, if not like pros or like flow guys, just like really like high level like skateboarders. But really like not much. There's one guy that was pretty good, but for the most part, it was pretty chill. Like when I like I don't know first thought of Venice, like even just like watching videos of it, I'm like it's so packed there. There's guys watching like everywhere. Like people come from like all over. I don't know, around Venice, and they come and they basically just sit around the skate park, like stand and just watch like all the skaters, like the bull skaters and stuff. But I
Any
thought
scouts or anything?
no, not really scouts, just like people like watching
Just
for like
for fun.
entertainment
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
for
fun.
sure.
So I thought it would be like more insane guys, but not really. It was just more like there's probably like maybe less than like 15, 20 people in like the actual skate park, and just lots of people around. So it was more like I just had like better expectations for it. I thought it would be better guys there and just like more of a crowd, but it was pretty cool nonetheless. So then from there we passed Santa Monica because Santa Monica is like super busy, and we ended up driving all the way to Malibu, which is like
Long drive.
yeah, a long drive, and as well as Malibu is a very like rich place. I think
Mhm.
that's where like Miley Cyrus lives in Malibu, and Malibu's like now you're getting to
Malibu,
the expensive place, so
Malibu.
like California. So these are like the big, like really big houses on the hill, right on the water. Like the water is amazing there, and like the beaches and stuff.
A lot of
Um,
camping there, maybe as well, right?
I don't know. I'm not quite
That's
too
more
sure,
up
but
at Yosemite.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, it was pretty cool. And so we went to Malibu, ate there at like this like country kitchen because we were all super hungry from like driving around. And the first place we turned into is like it's called Duke's Valet. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that valet guys. And we're like, my dad pulls over and my sister's like, "There's valet. We're not eating here. Like this place is gonna be fucked expensive." So we end up going.
Good
like
point.
we keep driving and then we get to this place called like the Country Kitchen, kind of just on the side of the road. Ate there. It actually ended up being like very good. So we ate there, and then after that we headed into Hollywood, and we did the Walk of Fame, and
You
like
see
we
the
were
podcast
talking,
boys?
huh?
You know, people have done that. They
Get
like
the
take a sticker.
stars?
They put
Yeah.
a sticker.
Yeah, we saw people doing that, like placing. I guess you can get like a picture or something of it, but you can like people will get the letters and you can like spell whatever you want.
Yeah,
So,
why didn't you do that? What the hell?
bro, I don't want to spend my money on that shit, bro. Like we'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
you know
true,
what I mean?
true.
I just like
For free.
already know that.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the Walk of Fame was like really weird. So like we were talking about like these people trying to get pictures with you. This one lady, like me and my family, like we're reading the stars, we're walking along, like looking, whatever. And this like one lady comes up to me in like a cat suit, and she's like meow, and I'm like holy shit, like I'm not joking when I tell you, I actually like jumped, I was like fuck, and I was like freaked out, and
If
she's like
Cheyenne
laughing.
was there, he'd be like, oh.
And my sister's laughing, my dad are laughing, and I'm just like, oh my god, like that actually scared the shit out of me. Like, if you called me at the wrong time, like I swear to God, I would have swung. Like, she was like
Dude,
this,
what?
meow, and I would have, like, I would have like swung. Like, bro, do
Why?
not do that
Was she
shit.
trying to get a photo or something?
No,
trying to be
but, like,
interactive?
I guess yeah, interactive, and it's kind of like part of their like play. Like,
What did she
skit
do when
thing.
she saw you jump?
I don't know. She's just laughing. She's like, "Don't worry, sweetheart." And I was like, "What the hell? Get me out of here!" I fucking didn't like that shit at all, bro. Like, I'm not joking. That scared the fuck out of me.
Did she touch you?
No, but she did this. She grazed like my sweater, like something like this. And when you're looking down, right? Like I thought it was like a homeless guy. Like I didn't know, but I was just like, I was ready. Bro. She like, you do not want to get like if you do that to me, and I'm like, you catch me at the wrong time, like I fucking
It's gotta be
swear.
our
I'd
intro,
swing.
bro.
But that actually scared the shit out of me, and my family, like, I think they're so funny. My dad's laughing at me.
If
my
it was your
sister's
dad, it would be a
laughing.
different story, bro.
Yeah, my dad's doing this like after I'm walking, he's like meow. But anyways, yeah, that scared the
Bro.
shit out of me. So then yeah, we did that, and then we went to there's like the other part by I think it's like the Dolby Stadium or not stadium like theater where all like the award ceremonies are held, and they basically have all like the handprints from
Oh,
like
yeah.
different movies and stuff. So we walked around there. Yeah, and that's pretty cool. So there's like handprints of like Star Wars, La La Land, Madonna's there, like all the like big names in like LA. That was really cool to see. And then as we're standing there, my sister like we're just kind of like looking at like the hands and all the different like prints, and my sister's like looking around and she sees this guy and she's like, that kind of looks like Mac DeMarco, who's like this like indie like singer guy, and she's like, yeah, I don't know if it's him, but I don't want to like be weird and like go up to him and like ask him. And then I'm like, Sophie, one time me and Colin were outside BC Place, and we walked by and we're like, hey, I think that guy's Alfonso Davies, and it was. And we were told that, like, our dad's like, yeah, that's probably not Alfonso Davies. Like, what is he doing
But they're
here
like,
in
come on,
Vancouver?"
like we're late. We're late to the
Yeah,
game.
and
That's
they're
probably
like-
why he's out there.
Hurry up. And we're like, like, I think that's him. They're like, no, it's fine. And then as we go in the stadium, like, they're like, just, I don't know, like, a
Alfonso
special
Davies.
guest, Alfonso Davies. And we're like, fuck. Like, we could have got
Jordan
like, a photo.
Heidemo was looking at my reaction laughing, bro. Because I was like, literally, I was like that. And she was like
Yeah.
looking at me laughing. Like,
Yeah. But I, like, yeah, so
I don't
from that,
I don't regret that, like, too much, honestly.
I
but-
just, like, it would have been cool, right?
Yeah.
But, so I was like, I kind of, like, I'm taking that with me. Like, I remember that. I'm like, Sophie, like, from my experience, like, just go and ask. Like, worst case, it's not him, and then you just, like,
Walk
walk
off,
on, right?
yeah.
It doesn't matter. So I'm like, yeah, just go up and ask him. And she's like, hey, you look a lot like Mac DeMarco. And then he's like, I do. And then she's like, are you Mac DeMarco? And he's like, I am. So we ended up meeting Mac DeMarco. He's actually a really cool guy and, like, very, like, normal. Like, I don't know. So it was kind of cool. Like, he actually had, like, a conversation with us, and we were just kind of, like, talking. And we got, like, photos and stuff. So that was really cool. And then after that, on the drive home, we went to David Dobrik's pizza store in LA, which he opened up. because we saw it on the side. It's on Sunset Boulevard, and we just kind of kept driving like, yo, David Dobrik's thing.
Did you say hi to David Dobrik?
No, he wasn't there, but it actually was pretty good pizza. Like surprisingly for like a YouTuber, like food or like brand.
Mr. Beast has one of those as well.
Yeah, Mr. Beast Burger. Yeah.
Beast Burger, yeah.
But the Dobrik's pizza was actually like very good. Like it's very like thick, if that makes sense. So like most
patty?
pizzas are like kind of like thin.
Oh, patty. I'm thinking
Yeah,
hamburger.
pizza. It was super like doughy and like thick, if that makes sense. So it was like
Oh, okay.
instead of being like a slice like this thin,
Like a
it would have
thin
been
slice,
like
it was
this.
ooh.
And then it was very like, I don't know,
like-
soft and like it was nice. It was doughy, I guess. And then the crust is actually pretty cool too. It's kind of like, I don't know, like if you guys know like cheese bread, like the nice like it tastes like cheese bread, the crust. So it's actually pretty good. And overall, like good pizza. So like I was kind of surprised because I honestly thought like YouTuber
Give it a
brand
rating.
could be kind of like not scammy, but just like not the best. But it ended up being actually like pretty good
Like prime.
quality.
Well, rate it.
David Dobrik's pizza, I'd give it an 8.3. 8.3. It was pretty good, and I actually liked it opposed to like some of the other places we went. So
Shake Shack.
yeah,
Fuck 'em. Did you go to In-N-Out?
I did. Okay, so
Okay.
the last thing I'll just touch on it quickly. Yeah, so I'm like, we gotta go to In-N-Out. Like that's like one of the things that I wanted to do. Like when we came here, and so finally like we're all super hungry, and then we go into In-N-Out, and we get into the line, and the line is massive. Like
Yeah.
the drive-through thing,
I can imagine.
they have lines like this, and they have like queues. Like they have like what do you call it? Like those little like fence thingies, kind of like to like separate the like queue, I guess, the line. And it literally wrapped around the parking lot. So we're like, screw this, we're going in. So we go inside, and it's actually like pretty nice in there. It's kind of like the old like retro theme. They all got like the uniforms with the hats.
Is
and
it similar to Five Guys in terms of inside?
yeah, yeah, very like Five Guys esque. They got like the tiled ground and everything, and they got like some neon signs and stuff. But yeah, so we get inside, and like it's actually pretty cool in there. And then we get to order our food. And what I found surprising is there's only like 4 things on the menu. There's hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, and then there's fries. And then on the other side there's just like drinks and like shakes and stuff. But like pretty like short menu, especially like if you're used to like McDonald's, which has like they have like chicken burgers, they have quarter pounders, all these different types of like I don't know, burgers. But yeah, this was like very short, but they're really efficient. So like you get your thing, you sit down, and within less than like a couple minutes they'll call your order. Like it's very quick. And I was actually surprised because I think this was like the best food we had. First off, the service was really great. The guy that served us was really nice. We were kind of talking to him. He's like, "You guys ever eat In-N-Out before?" And he's just like really friendly. And then like you could tell like he actually enjoyed his job. Like when he was calling out the numbers, he's like 86, and he's like I don't know, he's just like a funny guy, right? So it was kind of cool, and it was a great experience. And like overall, the food ended up being great. So if I was to rate In-N-Out, I'd probably give it like an 8.9 maybe. Like
Yeah,
it was
good.
It was really good, and it was quick, and like the service.
Dude, your
was nice,
food
so.
seemed the best out of the trip from what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I saw like Noah Canada go into like some restaurant like that, but it was like it was like a small business, like a family owned, and they're like 32, and he's in the back of the restaurant like 39, and then and then everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
It's
know.
so funny.
Yeah, but those restaurants are like super like efficient. Like I swear, like
Yeah.
they have like
Go.
Yeah, like I swear, like they get one order out and the next one's like halfway done. But like what I found really funny is like so they have like I guess like booths like to sit at, and then the end is like plastic,
Okay.
and they had like so it was like a gray chair like this, and they had this little like red like cushion. But it was funny because the cushion wasn't actually like cushion material, like it wasn't soft. It was just also plastic. So it kind of felt like we were eating at like a McDonald's like play
Yeah.
place. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
just
that's
plastic
kinda-
chairs, and you're like, not like
I'd
I
probably
don't know.
rather have like the plastic chairs.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Yeah, I saw in California. I saw like because I don't know if you watch Mike Malek. He does like the night shift, whatever.
Yeah,
He does the burger reviews right
Yeah.
every time.
That's kind of inspired me to like try like.
And
all these
his
different-
Shake Shack and In-N-Out are like it's like top 3.
Yeah.
Top
yeah.
number 1 is like Burger She Wrote. I don't know where that is, but he was like
Yeah.
it was always Shake Shack for the longest time.
Yeah.
Except for like this year, and he's like, dude, this is crazy, but this is number 1 now. Anyway, so he went to a restaurant. It was called One Girl, and it was a spin-off from Five Guys. And the slogan is, it doesn't take 5 guys to make a burger. And they're like, oh, this is cool, and they're like talking like jokes with the owner, and they're like, yeah, it doesn't, like, come on. And meanwhile, there's like a bunch of people in the kitchen. But then I said it to somebody. I think it was like Quinn. And he was like, it's probably shit pizza. It's probably shit burger. To one girl.
Yeah, so that concludes our story time. So I guess we'll get on to topics. Now, the first one I kind of have for us is, as you know, Sunday is New Year's. And, you know, people do New Year's resolutions / goals. And so I want to kind of talk about your own personal goals as well as, like, the podcast goals
Okay.
for ourselves. So I guess we can start with, I guess, personal. We'll do personal first. So do you have any, like, personal goals, like, achievements that you want, like, to accomplish this year?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be stronger physically.
Mm-hmm.
There's no specific on that, like, oh, I want to be 150 pounds before. Like, I just want to be, like, stronger in general, just for football related.
Yeah.
And just, like, why not, right? Like, I'm a skinny guy. I have no problem with, I want to stay skinny. But I do, like, want to be a bit bigger. But, yeah. But the way, like, I am now physically, I'm fine with. It's just, it'd be cool to have more. That's the only thing I can think of right now because I haven't really thought of that. Anything? Oh, podcast related as well. Intro and logo are my top two biggest things.
Yeah.
Other than that, then I mean, I'll be really happy with that. Things we have on here, you know, we got to get all that done. But those are my top two biggest ones.
Yeah. So as for podcasts, like we have a list here that we're gonna try to achieve this year.
I think that the last one's also probably up there with like the most important.
Tough one. So I'll just like fire them off here quick. So we got new logo, decorations for set, logo on middle panel, which is this. At least one vertical short a week, seasonal decoration, drink/snacks for guests, at least water in the fridge. Interactive stories for Instagram, at least one story a week / like that could either be like a poll or like a question.
I thought that was PO11.
I know the font's really weird. For like actual like milestone goals, 200 subs on YouTube. We're at 133 or 137. So that's like pretty. I feel like that's achievable for this year, as well as at least 300 followers on Instagram. Instagram grows quicker than YouTube for sure, and I think that's we're like 170.
Anything for TikTok?
TikTok, I don't know. I don't have TikTok on my phone, so I don't really. Yeah. I'm not really as involved with TikTok, but like, what are we at right now for TikTok? It's like
111, I want to guess.
So I think we could probably at least 200 on TikTok, I'd say. So yeah, we'll put 200 TikTok. As well as just we're trying to like just grow, you know, as a channel and like I don't know, just
as a platform.
As a platform, right? So like this as well as just like as we have like even from the beginning, like from episode 1 to here, like there's been lots of changes, and even from our first in-person episode to here, we just keep trying to get better. So this is just some of our goals. So those are like the milestone goals. Then we also have like playlists for our YouTube, and just like I don't know, to section off our segment better. Like our content, and also have like a featured video. So on YouTube, if you go into a channel, they have like the first thing you'll see, at least on a computer, is like you'll see like a trailer kind of, or just any video they want to put there. And so I feel like that would be nice to have there, just to like, I don't know, it just looks better in terms of formatting, and I think it could be like a nice addition. And the last one we got on here is a new filmer. I mean, Cheyenne, he's been slacking lots. He doesn't really touch the camera.
He's being inappropriate as hell.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know, a weird addition.
Breaking chairs as well. Like.
Yeah, if
what did you say? Okay, good.
Yeah, so if you're a filmer, you want to film for us, please send us an application. You can send it to our Instagram, or you can email us. Any of those would work. So yeah, if you want to apply for a filmer, you can do that. So yeah, those are all the podcast goals. As for my personal goals for this year, I wrote down. I want to just like start reading more. So I've been reading like more this month, but like at least like so some people do like, oh, I want to read a book a week, and it's like $52. Like no thank you, bro. Like that's a really insane amount like to read, especially if you're like busy, and especially if you have like school and then have the podcast and a bunch of other stuff. So I do not want to read that much. But maybe like a book every like 3 weeks or a book every month, I think is like attainable and like reasonable. You know what I mean? Like a book a week, I think is a little excessive. But I think
depends on who you are.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's true. But like, and it also depends your schedule and your time and how much you want to like.
For you, it's not for you.
For me, it's not for me. So I'd say I just try like aim for like maybe like a book every 3 weeks or a book a month. So I think I could do that. And yeah, that's kind of one of the things I want to do this year. And then also this year I kind of want to. So I've been looking into like business. I've talked about it before, but I really want to start an SMMA agency, which is basically just like social media marketing and like advertising and stuff. And one of the things that I could do, I think, very easily is like start like running people's Instagram accounts and stuff. For like just like small restaurants and like local businesses, but like in the new year, that's kind of one of my things is to sort of start that like business and start like trying to sign clients and all that. And I think that I could like do this, and I've done research on it, and I've been like learning about it for like the last couple months. So in the new year, I'm looking forward to like start this and kind of just grow it. Um, and yeah, and sign clients and just like keep learning. So yeah, that's kind of one of my other goals for this year. And then lastly, I guess, yeah, just keep going to the gym. And like just yeah, I also want to like my goal weight is like probably around like 130. I'm like 115 now, or like I haven't weighed myself in a while, but like 115, like 120 normally. And so like I feel like 130 is like a good weight. Especially like for me. So that's like kind of like I guess like my goal weight in terms of like fitness and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's I guess kind of our goals for this year. Now the other thing that I kind of want to do this year is or like this episode is we can do like our predictions for next year.
Interesting.
So like I don't know whether this be just any predictions you have or like any like you think is gonna happen this year.
Prediction. So by the end of 2023, we will have done like that's our prediction.
Yeah, even for the podcast, or even just like in the world, like worldly news.
Okay.
Is COVID gonna come back? Is it, hopefully not. Like knock on wood, but just any like predictions that you think.
I think for me, I'm going to be like more sexy. And I think that I'll be on Too Hot to Handle. The youngest signing. No, if I'm being serious though, like I think I will get like more like I think I'll be like better at football, better at soccer, and then also stronger. And I think that I will be I mean the Too Hot to Handle thing, that's like side quest, not focused on that. And I think that I will be at a very successful podcast, and hopefully it's thriving, and hopefully I think that we will still be doing this. I believe that we will still be doing this, and I believe that if we follow our goals and we follow what we want to do, we will have a lot of fun. And that is my predictions for 2023. Hello, future me. Better have fucking happened. Bro, that's everything I said there is like I do think, bro. I do think.
Yeah, for predictions for me, okay, first off, this is like I don't know, it's kind of like note to self, so or just like I don't know, my predictions. Hopefully I can get my brace off, bro. I had these for so long.
Dude, that's gonna happen.
I know that shit better happen, bro. Holy shit. So braces off. I really want to get a car for like the end of the year because my birthday's in November, so like my goal was kind of like car by like your birthday or like when you can like actually start driving. So that would be really sick. Hopefully Mitsubishi Eclipse. That's like my kind of like car that I want, but that's so yeah, that the braces, yeah, just the podcast to be hopefully at above 200 subs. As we said, the milestone goals there, and just like I don't know, enjoy yourself. I mean, we'll be going into grade 12 or not going. We'll be in grade 12 next year. Yeah, hopefully on to college if that's your path. I don't know. But who knows? I mean, it'll be interesting to look back on this and kind of see how much we've grown and like all that. So I think this is kind of like a good like
dude, what if
reminder.
This would be imagine like this is probably like a dream. If you had to ask me what's a dream that you have of the podcast, it would be doing the podcast in a different city.
Yeah.
Whether that be as shitty as Edmonton or as nice as Honolulu or Miami or something.
Yeah. But like yeah, even like just like I feel like growing this platform and like giving it opportunities, like if this could give us opportunities to like go travel to see guests or like just like
huge.
If we can take this somewhere like
huge
beyond just like sitting
in
our
garage.
That's
life-changing, bro. It literally is life-changing.
Like that would be amazing, but who
knows?
What
if I don't even like this guy by that time?
Yeah, well, what if we're not friends? Well, yeah, that won't happen, bro. Knock on wood. We gotta spam that shit, bro. But yeah, hopefully next year we just keep growing and like keep plugging away at it. But yeah, but like I don't know. You can't look forward too much. I think also we kind of have to like look back on this year. We've
Yeah.
also like I feel like we've accomplished a lot this year.
Yeah,
in
we talked
terms
about
of-
this last year. We talked about it in 2021. What have we accomplished this year?
Yeah.
And yeah, let's talk about it. What have we done?
The reels. I mean, the reels went crazy. Like
TikTok.
over 40,000.
It's still going. It's still
Yeah,
getting comments.
like 40,000 views. Like that's insane. So I think that was one of the big things we did this year. That along with even just putting out the reels, the short form content, TikTok.
guests.
Guests.
We've had the most guests. We've been the most consistent since we started.
Upload times.
We can work on
We
that.
can work on that. Yeah, that will definitely improve in the new year.
And just being in person again.
Being in person,
general.
yeah. Just generally like podcasting, like talking,
Did we-
interacting, and
Did
like,
we have this segment in 2021? Maybe we can look back.
maybe we did, but yeah.
What was it? I think we said something along the lines of like be in person. If we did,
Yeah.
it's definitely that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then look what happened. If that's the case.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I'm looking forward to 2023. So with that, I guess we'll go on to topics now. I'm gonna start us off with some very sad news. Pele has died at age 82. So yeah, Pele, the Brazilian king of soccer, who won a record 3 World Cups and became one of the most commanding sports figures of the last century, died Thursday. He was 82. The standard bearer of the beautiful game had undergone treatment for colon cancer since 2021. He had been hospitalized for the last month with multiple ailments. His agent Joe Frega confirmed his death. Widely regarded as one of soccer's greatest players, Pele spent nearly 2 decades enchanting fans and dazzling opponents as the game's most prolific scorer with the Brazilian club Santos and the Brazilian national team. His great athleticism and mesmerizing moves transfixed players and fans. He orchestrated a fast, fluid style that revolutionized the sport, a samba-like flair that personified his country's elegance on the
Ginga.
field. He carried Brazil to soccer's heights and became a global ambassador for his sport in a journey that began on the streets of Sao Paulo State, where he would kick a sock stuffed with newspapers or rags.
I remember that.
In the conversation about soccer's greatest players, only the late Diego Maradona, Lionel Messi, and Cristiano Ronaldo were mentioned alongside Pele. Different sources, counting different sets of games, list Pele's goal totals anywhere between 650 league matches and 1,281 all-senior matches games, some against low-level competition. So, yeah, the player who would be dubbed the King was introduced to the world at 17 at the 1958 World Cup in Sweden, the youngest player to ever play at the tournament. He was carried off the field on teammates' shoulders after scoring 2 goals in Brazil's 5-2 victory over the host country in the final. So that just goes on to talk about Pele, but I mean, we all know how brilliant he was, and I think it's just kind of sad to see someone like who's sculpted and like changed the game so much like die, but I mean his legacy will live on forever, and I think that's kind of the important part.
It will, yeah. And it is.
Yeah.
This is for me personally, the
Mhm.
saddest death of the sport. As a kid, he was my favorite soccer player until, fast forward a little bit, Alphonso Davies came around. But he is definitely, this is very sad. He was in the hospital for a month, the whole time during the World Cup, but everyone was saying, like, even people like close to him were like, he's going to be fine. Doctors said he's going to be fine, whatever. Until like the week of his death, they were like, things aren't looking too hot. And then this happened. So wasn't too surprised, but again, it's a death. Like, so it's quite sad. And my hearts go out to his fans and people that looked up to him. If you love soccer and if you like Pele and you haven't, watch the Pele movie. I've watched the documentary and the reenactment movie of his life, and it's like one of the best. Have you seen it? It's easily the best soccer related thing I've watched. It's just like actors, and it shows how like his life, and it's actually crazy like what he went through as a kid. And if you like, I would recommend it for anyone, like Justin, Cheyenne, like anybody. Like, dude, it's such a good movie, even when you don't like soccer. So like, watch that, and the documentary is alright as well. But what would the movie be called? Like, not fiction because it's real. But like just the movie like about him was good, not the doc. But yeah, it's so good, dude. And maybe I'll watch it again. But I watched it a few times. And Ginga really like he was kind of he actually, in the movie, they explained it. He brought back Ginga to what it is today because people in Brazil, they had to stop doing Ginga because they would do it in the World Cup and they'd like screw it up. And everyone, like, especially the Italians, were really fucking nosy, like, people back then. And they were like, oh, you guys are so stupid. We play, like, class football. We don't kick around socks and all that. So, but Pele brought it to his team to really bring it back because he was at Santos at the academy trying out. They're like, you can't do that here. Like, you're not in the streets of Sao Paulo anymore. Play proper football. The Italians that were versing, it was like in a friendly, they're gonna clown us, like all this. And he had to convince his teammates that we got to do this. Like, and so they did it. That's pretty much how they ended up winning the 1958 Cup, just because of Pele. And there's just more if you want to watch the movie. I'm not going to go into more detail, but it's yeah, very, very sad. He wasn't too old either. 82.
Yeah, 82. But I think 82 is long enough where you can like live a great life.
Oh, of course.
As well as like maintain a decent like
life and well-being.
Life and even quality of life, because
Yeah.
I feel like past the age of 82, like going into your 90s, people's quality of life like go down tremendously. As they get older, they have
Like
pains,
immobile.
arthritis, immobile.
When you're so
speech.
like people that have cancer, like I know people that have chosen to just not like commit suicide, but they're like, I'm done fighting, because you really got to think of quality of life at that point.
Yeah.
So that people, they do that with dogs, right? They put dogs down because you got to think of like quality of life, like how would this be like if they're
going through it.
Yeah. So no, I do think he's had a beautiful life, and I don't know Pele. Everyone that's met Pele, I've said he's a fantastic guy. I saw photos online with like meeting with like Canada soccer ambassadors. Like he met with, so I didn't even know like until he died. He met with like every sort of like club team or every sort of like team like association in general. Like I saw he went to Scotland in the 70s and he put on a Scottish jersey. I saw that come up. He signed like Celtic jerseys. Like it's crazy. So I think I didn't know that about him, but his legacy will live on forever, and you gotta really just be happy of what he did, and it's life, right? People die, shit happens. You cannot focus on the bad things in life, but rather what the greatness has, but rather the greatness that you have achieved, and life's about that. Life's about up and down, so you don't stop. Like you just keep on going. Like you can't let that get to you. Like no matter what it is, just keep on going. Like, and it really won't be so bad as dwelling in the past. One thing, like I think as an individual that I'm bad, this got deep. As an individual, I think my biggest flaw is dwelling on the past, being like, oh, I miss this, I miss that. Oh, it's not like this anymore. That I think, like, I'm gonna be one of those dads or like grandparents that'd be like, back in my day, because like, dude, that's like the biggest flaw I have is like dwelling in the past, not like getting upset about it, like just being like, oh, I miss that. Like I gotta move on. Like just keep going. Like life is just endless line, bro. So yeah, that's kind of my advice to anyone that's like mourning his death. Just keep going, right, and you'll be good.
Yeah. So on to our next topic here. I'm gonna go into this one here. So Luka Doncic he just broke one of the like craziest records. So on I don't know what it was, but basically he had 91 points, I think, in 2 games, which broke like the all-time record for
everyone was tweeting on this.
Points.
Every
I know,
player.
This has gone crazy. And I opened my Instagram feed and like obviously like okay, we didn't have Wi-Fi in Huntington, so I had to like use my data and stuff. And it was just like I opened my feed like when I'm at the airport, and like the first thing I see everywhere is just like Luka Doncic, he broke this record, blah blah blah. Like it's insane.
He doesn't look like a basketball player as well.
Which is funny because he's kind of like, I don't know, he doesn't look like your typical athlete either. He's not like very like, to me he doesn't look very like athletically like built. Yeah, like his, I don't know, just even his physique. And you see him dropping like 60 points. So I'm just gonna read this article that talks about it. So
I would never think that this would happen.
I know. Doncic had the first 60-point, 20-rebound triple-double in NBA history as he led the Mavs to an improbable comeback, 126-121 overtime victory over the New York Knicks at American Airlines Arena in Dallas. The three-time All-Star's 60 points sets a new franchise record. Doncic was 21 for 31 from the field and 16 from 22 from the free throw line as he surpassed Dirk Nowitzki's previous franchise record of 53 points.
There's Jake Nowitzki.
No, Dirk, classic. Nowitzki accomplished the feat in a great game on December 2, 2004. Nowitzki is the highest-scoring foreign-born player in league history. The 2023 Hall of Fame nominee is currently in the 6th spot on the NBA scoring list, but the 23-year-old Doncic is on track to surpass that mark someday. Earlier this week, the Mavericks unveiled a new statue of the retired German star outside American Airlines Arena. Doncic is also now credited with the league's highest scoring effort of the season. Doncic's masterful performance left his teammates along with former and current NBA players in awe and sent social media into frenzy. Kevin Garnett said, "It'll be another statue in Dallas. Luka is like that." Reggie Miller said, "Luka magic. Good Lord." Paul Pierce said, "Oh my God, Luka, 60, 21, and 10. Never seen these numbers in a lifetime. May never again. Wilt like video game. Like, damn." So, yeah, there's just a bunch of reactions. All the NBA stars going around. I saw one, I forget who it was, but it was like a quote, and he's like, "They're out here playing football. Like, he's playing football, we're playing basketball." Like, just, I don't know, insane, but
He'll definitely get All-Star.
yeah. I mean, with performances like that, and I think the night before, I think he dropped like 32 or like 30 or something. So I think
He's like warming up for it.
yeah, and so I think that was like the NBA record of 2-game streak as well. Like I think it was like 90 points in 2 games with like an insane like stat line or something like that. So I think he broke some record there too. But just like it honestly just shows how good like these European players can be, as well as just like the face of the league, like the young talent in the league is like unmatched right now. So I think the league's going in a good place right now. And I think like NBA is one of the most like exciting leagues to watch. Just like I don't know, I like watching NBA. There's nonstop action, and when you have superstars like this, like it's just crazy. So yeah, that's just kind of my take on it. But
Yeah. I've already said mine.
yeah, all right. On to our last sort of segment here, the copper drop. We got the Air Jordan 1 Black Toe. So yeah, what do you think about these?
I'm gonna have to say drop. I'm
Drop.
not much of a high top person.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much all.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been kind of looking for a nice, like, high top shoe. All my shoes are pretty low, and I kind of just wanted to have a high top. Like, I know, practicality-wise, they're not, like, the most, I don't know, practical, but I think they look nice, and sometimes it's nice to have, like, that variation, you know? If you have, like, low shoes, sometimes you gotta have, like, a high shoe or, like, a boot, you know what I mean? So I think it's kind of, like, an essential, like, shoe to have. So yeah, I'd say cop on these. I think they're pretty cool, and I kind of liked like the aged like leather look here. They did those on the like Lost and Found pack, which released earlier this year, with like basically like the concept of the one that I'm talking about now, the Lost and Found. It was like a old box that had been like lost in like all the boxes, and then they found it, and it was an original Chicago, but it was cool because it sort of featured the same like aging look to it. So you can see these like the midsole's not completely like white; it's more like cream, which I like. 'Cause it's more like distressed and like retro, as well as like the leather's kind of like crackled there. So I think those are like some cool like touches to it, and I'd say cop on these. I think they're pretty cool. So yeah, those are all my topics.
All right.
Oh wait, I actually got one more. Sorry, I just realized that I got one more. Yeah, so Andrew Tate was arrested in Romania for 30 days, it says. Bucharest, Romania. Andrew Tate, a diverse social media personality and former professional kickboxer, was detained in Romania on charges of human trafficking and rape, an official said Friday. Tate, a British citizen who previously was banned from various social media platforms for expressing misogynistic views and hate speech, was detained late Thursday, along with his British brother Tristan, in the Lof area of north of Romania's capital, Bucharest. 2 other suspects who were Romanian were also in custody. All 4 will be held for 30 days during an investigation after a judge extended their initial detention period of 24 hours, said Romania Bola, a spokesperson for the Romanian Anti-Organized Crime Agency. Bola said the decision wasn't final and that all 4 suspects have already appealed the extension, which is unlikely to be heard in court before next week. I'm just gonna keep talking to like the technicalities, but yeah, he's basically arrested.
He was arrested for 3 hours.
Hmm?
He was arrested for 3 hours. Those 3 days. Yeah, this doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny watching all the feminists get so happy
I know.
online. So I don't like Andrew Tate. I'd say like in general. I don't really care about him. He doesn't affect me really. I just think that like I don't agree with most things he says, but I don't care that he got arrested. I'm not like preying on his downfall or anything either. So I'm not surprised he got arrested. And honestly, I read this and I was like, he probably like it's the same thing. He gets a domestic call or something, or some bitch like spazzed out or something, or like I don't know, something like that. So I was thinking, oh, he's probably just gonna get released. He's probably like fine, like whatever. And I think I was right. I mean, yeah. I just don't agree with him with most things. That's the only reason why I don't. I'm not one of those guys. Like a lot of people our age are like, yeah, top G. Like, I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah, for me, like I actually agree with some of his takes, especially on like business, and like I like some of the stuff he has to say. I know he is very like polarizing. Some of his takes are very like controversial, and obviously I don't agree with everything he says. Some stuff is like he kind of goes over top for like comedic effect, even if you could call it comedic. Some of it's just to get like a reaction, a rise out of people.
Yeah,
if you
for sure.
like piss people off, they're more likely to like see your shit, right? Like if you're a polarizing figure, someone's gonna know your name regardless if they like you or not. So I think it could be just like a ploy to like increase his own like image and stuff. But I think regardless, like he's a very polarizing guy, and like when you say shit like that, like stuff's gonna happen.
And he is very clever for doing this.
Yeah, and you can kind of see like there's a little brilliance there. Like,
oh, of course.
Like even the whole thing, I've never seen anyone do that where they have people posting content for them, especially on like I don't know, YouTube, TikTok, like. Crazy. No one's thought of that, like having like basically an army of people reposting your content. So like you're
the
literally
whole
uncancelable.
World.
Yeah. And then he got silenced and all this. I mean, like
he will never be stopped.
The guy's literally unstoppable. Yeah. Even after the ban or the silence of him, you still see his content everywhere.
This is a perfect example. This is the highest degree of example of what you put on the internet stays like that. This is the highest example of it because it will never ever go away, no matter what.
Yeah, I think as well. I think he also like posted bail too, so he's also like, obviously he's like rich enough to like get bail and not like have to stay in jail.
Money, yeah. But Bucharest, I would not want to be there to get arrested.
Yeah, I saw the video of them like detaining him, and they like, like it's just nuts. Like they had like they all got like 4 guys
they don't
here.
Give a fuck. Like,
they're just
honestly.
like they're all in like ski masks with like the big like vests and stuff, and like honestly like
COD characters.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen now, like especially with his image and stuff, because he said that like I don't know. He's saying that there's like I watched a video today. I saw it today, and he's like, "There's 3 strikes." He's like, "The first, they try to silence you. Second, they try to arrest you, and third, they kill you." And he's like, "I think I'm gonna get killed." So I don't know, man. Who knows? But he swears that the Matrix is out for him, and that there's people out to get him, and. Who knows? I've seen stuff about like this was like a setup and people are trying to like get him arrested, but who knows?
All right, going in to my topic, we have Cristiano Ronaldo signing to Al Nassr. I'm gonna share my opinions on it. I'll give it to Justin after. So, I think that Ronaldo going to Al Nassr is unfortunately not good for him as an individual. He was talking about like a few years back how he's not going to end up in MLS. He's not going to end up in, EFL 4 or anything like that. He's like, I'm going to finish strong. Well, that's not looking like the case. He failed to get through to the World Cup final as he very much hoped for, as you can see by him crying after the game. And then also leaving Man United, he left. It was a mutual agreement. He didn't have to leave. He was leaving because he did not like his teammates and he just did not like the chemistry, which was unfortunate for him. I do think that Al Nassr obviously extremely happy to have him. But this was his only option. If he wanted to return to club play, this is his only options with the cards that he was dealt. If he had said, okay, I'm not going to get paid as much, he could have got a lot more offers. If he's shown through the international football at the World Cup stage that I can play better than I've shown, then that also could be a good indicator. But ultimately, the reason why he has not gone to another club at a higher level is because he is just too much freaking money and he's too old. So this was only option, right? So he goes to Al Nassr. He's learning Arabic now, as I saw. And everyone's saying it's a shit club, all this. Like, I looked at it, the ratings and all that. Dude, Al Nassr is a decent team. Sure, they haven't accomplished much, but that comes down to the chemistry of their teammates. When it comes to quality of players, they have decent guys. He is definitely the best player, no doubt, statistic-wise, and he could well be great for his team. Obviously, we're going to find out in the next few months how well he does. My prediction, I would say, is that he'll get bored of Al Nassr and leave and struggle to find anything and might just well retire because he's going to be regretting it, really. Because Ronaldo, like, he got paid a crap ton of money to go here because the Saudis have all the oil money, right? He goes here, and he doesn't need the money. Like, I know why, he accepted it because of the money, and that was the only offer. But he does not need the money. He's the richest soccer player in the world right now, I'm pretty sure. He's got, like, his own island. He's got, like, 10 Bugattis, something like that. He's crazy. Easily probably just as much as Top G or even more. So, Sean? Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I mean, I think he's going to leave quite soon, and that could be the end of him. But
Contract till 2025.
You can break the contract. That happens all the time. So that doesn't mean shit to me. But the Al Nassr, second in the Pro League, definitely going up. And I think people are clowning the team too much. People are saying it's the worst transfer in all of soccer history. And I would say it's up there just because it's a huge upset. But I don't think they're a shit team. I really don't. People that fucking think Man U is a bad team will say that. I mean, Cheyenne said Atletico Madrid was a bad team. They're rated 5 stars on FIFA. Like, people like that, bro. I don't know, Cheyenne.
Support that team, bro. They're not that bad. They're bad this season, but not at all.
So, like, this is what I mean. I think that he will, like I said, he'll get bored. But I do think that, I've seen people, like, I'm thinking of one guy in specific that I know that is, like, a Messi fanboy, doesn't watch soccer, just thinks, oh, it's Messi. He's literally like speed, but the opposite, bro. But he's not faking it. He's like, Messi, let's fucking go. Like, he's the GOAT now. Like, you just want to slap him through your screen, bro. And it's the same guy, like, was posting, talking about how he's going to, like, a farmers league. Like, he's going, like, nowhere, and this is a trash team. It's not a trash team. Shut the fuck up, really. You don't watch soccer. And then there are teams in the Pro League that are I would consider good. Obviously they are not at the same level of, if you're comparing it to Premier League, if you're comparing it to La Liga, if you're comparing it to even maybe League One, they're not good, sure. But if you're looking at a football club or a soccer club in general, they're good. So that's my take on that. I just don't think that he won't fit in, really, is what I think. And it will be the downfall of Ronaldo. I think this is the start of it, unfortunately. But I'll give it to Justin to share his thoughts.
All right, so, yeah, obviously it's big news that he switched teams. But I think, like, for Ronaldo, too, he's turning less into a soccer player and more into a personal brand and image.
Of course.
I just pulled it up here on Wiki. Ronaldo is the most followed European and also the most followed person in the world on Instagram with over 520 million followers. You can also tell from his physique that Ronaldo isn't it's not a soccer body. Like, obviously he's fucking ripped. He's got huge pecs, huge arms.
He's a model, dude.
He's a model, and like he's looking out for his own brand more than he is his own soccer game. If you look at any other like athlete, any other like
Look at
football player at the top level, look at Messi, look at Rashford, look at Jude Bellingham, look at any of these guys. They're like obviously they're like smaller just because how much they're running. Like a lot of people don't understand that soccer physique. Like they look at Ronaldo and they go, "Oh my gosh, this soccer player's got crazy
Sexy
physique.
beast of a player, bro.
He's so sexy, he's so hot." But people don't realize that like Ronaldo's not like really like a
not
soccer
all.
player anymore. He's more like it's for his own personal brand. Like all these like soccer players are skinnier because first off they have to like like soccer has like the most
Dude,
cardio.
Look at
any
Cavallini.
sport.
He does not look like a soccer player. You see how big his shoulders is? Oh, that's
But
crazy.
anyways, I'm just saying that like he's like, and then he's going down in this league, and it's almost like he doesn't really like care or
anymore,
like
yeah.
love soccer anymore. Like that same commitment that he made, that he said, "I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna like end my career at like a low level team." I mean, the money is definitely like a big part of it. If you like, that's a crazy contract, and like you like, oh, like why would he not take the contract, right? If he didn't sign it, but like I think at the same time, it's like his legacy has been almost like tainted. Like in my opinion, if I was in that position, I don't know if I would take that. Maybe the money would get to me,
Yeah, but
maybe
he
not.
doesn't
But
need the money as well.
yeah, I feel like he's such like an established figure as well as a player, and like any club would love to have him too. But like yeah, as you said,
Money
his
and age.
his like the contract just wouldn't work out. So who knows? Like I don't know if he'll stay there, if he'll try to go. But I think this is kind of like you said, like the downfall. Like this is like his last stop. Like if he doesn't stay here, there's not much else he can go to. Like unless he signs for a low like MLS. Like maybe there's another deal like that.
They won't even want him, bro.
But
Most of the teams in MLS, if not all, can't afford him, bro.
yeah.
And I think, I don't know what I was gonna say, but yeah, I did. It's
Who knows?
sad to see, but I remember. Oh yeah, I remember. So I remember talking to you in 2019, being like, "Oh, he joined Juventus, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy." But I mean, that's Juventus, top tier team,
Yeah.
not Al Nassr.
Yeah, it's very different. But I just think it's kind of sad to see like the top, like the guys who grew up the goats, right? And they're kind of like you see them shit like Messi there, but like their last World Cups, and then you
But
see
Messi had a huge hurrah. If I was him,
Yeah.
I'd consider retiring
No.
heavily.
I like he yeah,
And
great
then I won
end
the
to
World Cup.
His like career, and like if he plans, like I don't know what he plans on doing, but like Ronaldo, like you just kind of see them getting to their end, and it's kind of sad because you kind of grow up watching these players and idolizing these players, and like as a kid, like I used to love Messi. I had like Messi jerseys and like my favorite player, and even Ronaldo. Like I'm a Messi guy, so I'm not like don't like love Ronaldo, but like you can still respect that, and like even it was like Messi and Ronaldo, right? And like seeing them together, like you both kind of want to see them succeed because you kind of like watch these guys grow up, and it was always Messi and Ronaldo, Messi and Ronaldo, and now it's just kind of like I don't know. It's sad to see it like not like be like that anymore. Like obviously he's still gonna be making a shit ton of money, but
Messi's
like,
the popular opinion, fan favorite, really.
yeah, I agree. That has been episode 134. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace.